Hey guys, I know it looks weird because I'm not wearing a hat. I almost always have a hat on and I look real scrubby. But before this video starts, I wanted to tell everybody, in this video, just like every vlog, the road game's on. So this footage that you see right here, in the vlog, you're gonna know that you have to pick out what road it is and what state it's in. Now, a little secret, I'm gonna give you a hint. If you're paying attention, it's actually in 2 different states. You can name either one and you'll get credit. And if you name both, you get super extra credit. Driving with John is coming through! Hey everybody, welcome to Driving with John vlog. All right, so on this video, I went from Ohio all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts, and then back down to Ohio. That's right. I couldn't have done that in 3 days, so 4-day vlog. I hope you enjoy it. Before I get started, I said I'm gonna add a little tidbit to new truckers and wannabe truckers out there. So today, I want to talk to you guys about one very, very important thing, okay? And that is, don't feel rushed. And what I mean by that is when you're backing into a place, when you're brand new, get out and look as many times as it takes. Don't worry about that idiot that's, you know, hitting his horn telling you to hurry up. I'm telling you, take your time. You don't want to make that mistake. Now, I'll tell you a little story that goes along with this, the reason why I use that as my thing. So this didn't happen recently. This is a few years ago. I was out in Wyoming and I was at a smaller truck stop. Only had like, I don't know, 10, 15 spots at it. And I parked and I was just sitting there, you know, enjoying my dinner and enjoying, you know, what little bit of the day I had left. And I see another truck come in. I don't remember who he worked for though, but it was one of the bigger carriers. It wasn't Swift or Warner, but whatever. So he went to park and he was obviously new. You could tell by his setup, he was a little bit off. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to give him a chance to pull up. So he tried to back in. He realized he couldn't do it. He pulled up, and when he pulled up, he did it right. And he had it lined up right. Meanwhile, this guy in a, you know, long-nosed Pete pulls up, and he's revving his engine, and you could just see the look on his face. He wasn't very happy. So then the guy backs up and gets his butt in the hole, but he's got to pull up again to readjust himself. But about that time, you know, he's jumping out, and he's looking over and over and over again. About that time, the guy in the Pete just, like you could tell, he wanted to get going. I get it, you know, we're all in a hurry. But this is what the new kid did as a mistake, okay? If it were me, my butt's already in the hole. I'm going in that hole. But he jumped in his truck and pulled out again to let the Pete by. So I'm like, all right, you know, I guess he's just being courteous. I guess that's, you know, the right thing to do, maybe, I don't know. So he comes all the way back around, lines up again. Again, he's a little bit off, backs in a little bit, pulls up, backs in a little bit, pulls up. I'm just about ready to grab my door handle to jump out to help him. And about that time, another truck comes around the corner. And I'm like, oh, dude, just get out and look. Don't worry about that guy. Don't worry about that guy. About that time, guy pulls out, goes all the way around again. I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this. He pulls up. This time when he sets up pretty good this time. The third time was, I guess, the charm. Back in it, he's got his butt right in the hole. About that time, a truck comes around the corner. All right, I had enough of this. I jumped out of my truck, ran over there. I said, don't. If he honks, if he revs his engine, I don't care what he says, you're putting yourself in that hole. You're not pulling out of it. And the kid looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, just back it up, dude. You know how to do what you're doing. And so he started backing up, and he had to get out and look a couple of times. The guy in the truck kept, you know, looking at him. And so I went over. I went over to the guy that was waiting, and he rolled down his window, and I was chit-chatting with him, just, you know, kind of buying some time for the new guy, you know what I mean? And told him what happened, and he goes, oh, no, man, you shouldn't let people affect you like that. You're in the hole. You better just keep going until you're all the way in there. And I agree with the guy. So if you're a new trucker or a wannabe trucker, you got to make sure that you take your time, and you know, if you got to get out and look 10 times, get out and look 10 times. You know, it's a learning process. Eventually you get to the point where you don't have to, you know, do that at all, once maybe. But pulling up like 5, 6 times, it happens. When you're new, it's better to be safe than sorry. Always in trucking. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So guys, remember that. That's me talking to you, new truckers and wannabe truckers. Just take it slow and be safe rather than sorry. All right, let's get on with the vlog. All right, so like I said, went from Ohio out to Massachusetts, out to Boston, Massachusetts, actually, and then from Boston all the way back down to Ohio. So, it was quite a trip. And as you can see, when I throw my numbers up here in a second, it was a good trip. So, all right, guys, let's get right to the show me the money part. That was kind of loud, wasn't it? Am I looking at me? Okay. So, all right. So right here, that's how many miles I drove. Now I'm reminding you as I'm pointing to this number right here, that was actually a 4-day load, not a 3-day load, okay? Basically, it was a day and a half up and a day and a half back with a little bit of extra time in the middle. So it ended up being basically a 4-day load. All right, so how long did it take me to drive that? Right there. And on this video, I'm not going to bother putting the average down because honestly, when you start getting too many days in a row, the average means less. It just depends on the area that you're in. And that was a wide area from Ohio all the way up to Boston. I mean, I made great time through Ohio and Pennsylvania. Started hitting those mountains in northern Pennsylvania through New York and Connecticut because I went out 84. So, yeah. I wouldn't say the time would be great, but I'm not going to put it up there anyway because it doesn't really tell you anything. So I'm not going to bother. If you think I should have, let me know in the comment section. I'll figure it up and post it in the comments. All right, so woo! All right, so now that I've told you all that, let's figure out how much money we made. I mean, you know, if you were me and you were driving this truck and you were making, I don't know, 45 cents a mile, that's what you'd make. And if you're making 50 cents a mile, that's what you'd make. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. All right, guys, so there it is. That's if you are on this load, and depending on how much you were making per mile, that's what you would have made. Now, if you're paid hourly on this load, I'm going to give you the same disclaimer I gave you last time. When you're paid hourly, you're actually paid from like 8 to 5 minus your lunch. It's literally like working a 9-to-5 job, only it's probably not 9 to 5. But you're paid per hour, and it's hourly. It has nothing to do with your miles, has nothing to do with what they have you doing. It's all hourly. So, I don't know how to do that with what I do, so I just take my drive time and tell you how much time it took me to drive, which I already told you, and I times that by $30 an hour. I think that's a good average, right? $30 an hour. And this is what you'd make. Now, like I said, you know, you got post trips and pre-trips and on-duty time measured shippers, and, you know, there's a lot more that goes into it, but just trying to simplify it so you guys can get a basic idea of, you know, what it's all about. So, I do this segment, basically, it's not for all the truckers that are seasoned and been out here for years, understand everything about trucking. It's not for that. It's for the wannabe and the new truckers. Because sometimes when you're brand new, I know for me, I had picturing what I was going to make in 2 years. When I first started, I wasn't making very good money. I'm not going to lie to you. I was bringing home the same amount I was as a 9-to-5 job. And it was hard. And I didn't understand why I was sacrificing it. I knew why I was sacrificing it, but there were days I was like, I don't know if I should be doing this anymore. But what happens is then, you know, you move on and you get better jobs or you get raises, and then you slowly work your way up, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's why I did all of that. So, and always remember, keep your record as clean as possible. Don't get in accidents. Don't get tickets. You know, the way you're not going to get tickets is pre-trips, post-trips, you know, being aware of your situations, making sure that your lights are on. If you stop to get fuel, walk around your truck quick. Just glance at, you know, your tires, your lights. Make sure everything's good. I'm telling you, it won't hurt you. It can only help you. So, all right, guys. I appreciate everybody watching this vlog. And as always, just, you know, if you got anything out of it, go down and hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Make sure that if you're on Facebook that you follow me and you like my page. Make sure you like the video also. Feel free to leave comments. And I didn't mention it in this video. Well, actually, you know, right at the beginning, I'm going to mention it. But I'm going to mention it again here. So this footage that's all around me, all right, That's part of my game that I play on every one of my blogs. And what it is you try to figure out what highway it is, and you try to figure out what state it's in. Now, this one's kind of tricky because honestly, it's 2 different states. You can give me either one, I'll say you're good. All right? I'm not going to tell you anything else. So just put that down in the comment section. Whoever gets it right first, I will pin your comment on YouTube. I don't know if I can do that on Facebook or not, but if I can, I will. All right? All right, guys. So all my trucking buddies out there, keep your rubber on the road. Stay right side up. Keep those tires turning. Woo! Stay safe out there, drivers. To all my non-driving buddies out there, hey, do me a favor. Just remember one very important thing. Truckers are people too. Be nice to us. See you on the next video.